The Special Operations Unit initiates the drone swarm to gain an advantage in the battle. Bird activates the ground robots, synchronizing the systems for a coordinated tactical assault. The ground robots advance quickly, clearing the path while the team provides essential covering fire. Stealth drones arrive in the sky, silently gathering intelligence to support the ongoing ground operation. The soldiers hold their ground firmly, waiting for the perfect moment to execute their plan. Everything is set, and the robots move forward to engage the enemy in the city. Machines maneuver through the debris, while the soldiers keep pushing the enemy line back. The targets locked, the robotic units unleash a barrage of fire upon the opposition. Enemy attempts to retaliate, but the tactical coordination of the team is too strong. It's a chaotic scene as the defenders suffer significant losses under the intense pressure. Precision strike continue to dismantle the enemy defenses, leaving them scrambling for any escape route. The robotic forces maintain their momentum, ensuring the enemy has absolutely no chance of recovery. As the dust settles, the unit confirms that the tactical objective has been successfully met. A long-range missile enters the combat zone, ready to eliminate the remaining enemy command posts. The massive explosion lights up the sky, signaling the end of the enemy's local resistance. Enemy soldiers are completely overwhelmed as their defensive positions are turned into burning ruins. Inside the control center, the elite squad infiltrates the facility. Neutralizing everyone in the path, they secure the room and immediately start hacking into the enemy's sensitive communication data systems. Reports their success, confirming that they have gained full control of the facility. With the data copied, the team prepares for a swift extraction from the dangerous zone. The headquarters, the commanders analyze the latest battlefield reports with deep, serious concern. The enemy is deploying reinforcements, and the situation on the ground is becoming very critical. Commander orders an immediate defense setup to prevent the enemy from gaining further ground. Large surveillance drones hover above, providing real-time footage of the advancing enemy armor and troops. Enemy tanks roll across the landscape, their heavy cannons firing at everything in sight. The team on the ground calls for air support to deal with the incoming tanks. The soldiers find themselves in a tough spot, pinned down by the relentless enemy barrage. It adjusts the drone's optics, finally identifying the enemy vehicles for a precise strike. The missiles are launched, streaking across the sky, before slamming into the enemy tank formation. Tanks are vaporized in a massive explosion, leaving the enemy without their heavy cover. The squad leader confirms that the threat has been neutralized and orders a tactical withdrawal. An early warning aircraft circles high above, keeping a watchful eye on the entire region. The radar picks up multiple enemy signatures, and the crew prepares for a massive confrontation. Hidden in the clouds, the stealth aircraft move into position for a surprise tactical strike. Missions monitor the screens, observing the enemy fleet as they move toward the coast. Drones use advanced technology to track the enemy signals with incredible speed and accuracy. The attack is executed perfectly, catching the enemy completely off guard during their naval maneuver. The stealth drone drops its payload, destroying the enemy's vital infrastructure and defensive radar equipment. Enemy is thrown into chaos, unable to defend against the unseen and lethal threat. Another successful strike confirms the effectiveness of their new tactics in this high-stakes modern war. Enemy's defensive grid is systematically dismantled. As the drones continue their relentless, precise assault, the city remains under heavy fire, with the drones circling like predators above the smoke. Enemy tries to set up portable defenses, but they are quickly spotted and destroyed. Anti-aircraft units track the incoming drones, hoping to score a hit before it's over. A drone is clipped by the defensive fire, but it continues its mission, undeterred by damage. Four explosions rock the area, marking the final moments of the enemy's local defensive position. Air defense systems are overwhelmed, and the drones maintain total control of the skies. One last drone makes a final pass, ensuring that no enemy assets remain functional today. The target is completely turned into scrap metal as the drone finishes its final run. At the rich fragrance of nature, the commander receives the report, acknowledging the loss of their equipment but praising the result. The enemy is planning a massive counter-attack, and the situation is getting even more intense. Underwater, the stealth submarines move silently, waiting for the command to unleash their power. The submarine surfaces slightly, opening its missiles hatches to prepare for a massive underwater strike. The missiles are fired, launching towards the surface and creating a massive splash of water. Underwater battle begins as both sides exchange fire in the dark, cold ocean depths. The missiles soar through the air, heading straight toward the enemy's vulnerable naval fleet asset. The radar station reports the massive incoming wave, and the alarm sounds throughout the base. Fighter jets take off in a hurry, scrambling to intercept the incoming swarm of missiles. The jets engage the targets, firing their missiles in a desperate attempt to stop them. The sky is filled with streaks of light as the interceptors take down several missiles. Despite the best efforts of the pilots, the sheer number of missiles remains very high. The situation is dire, and the commanders call for reinforcements from all available air units. Air defense crews are pushed to their limits, trying to protect the vital base. New squadrons join the fight, turning the tide with their superior speed and modern weaponry. Pilots perform daring maneuvers, weaving through the chaos to secure a final defensive victory. Ground-based anti-air systems join the fray, adding their fire to the intense defensive air curtain. Interceptors lock onto the remaining missiles, firing their final shots to clear the skies. One by one, the targets are eliminated until the last threat is completely wiped out. The smoke begins to clear, revealing the success of the unified defensive military air operation. Remaining missiles are intercepted, and the base remains safe from the devastating enemy attack. The naval destroyers contribute their firepower, launching missiles to support the ongoing air defense effort. The fleet maintains a defensive posture, ready to respond to any further threats from underwater. Detection systems alert the fleet to another wave of incoming threats from the enemy. Commanders coordinate a massive counter-offensive to hunt down the enemy's hidden underwater submarine fleet. The situation is critical, and the team works tirelessly to track the enemy's moving positions. A new plan is formulated, and the order is given to activate the final option. The heavy bomber takes to the sky, carrying the most powerful weapon in the arsenal. The crew prepares for the mission, checking every system to ensure a perfect, precise result. Bomber reaches the target area and prepares to release its final, highly advanced payload. The weapon is dropped, falling silently towards the ocean to reach its deep-seated underwater target. Crew watches the screens as the weapon approaches the enemy submarine's last known location. Weapon activates, creating a massive effect that ripples through the entire underwater combat zone. Enemy submarine is caught in the blast, and its defenses are completely destroyed instantly. The submarine is forced to the surface, as it suffers critical damage from the explosion. The submarine is finished, and the enemy is left without any means to continue fighting. Patrol aircraft confirms the destruction of the enemy submarine and reports back to base. The destroyer prepares one final strike to ensure the threat is completely and utterly gone. The ship fires its depth charges, creating a wall of water over the target area. Explosions rock the ocean floor, sealing the fate of the remaining hostile underwater asset. The submarine attempts to escape, but it is surrounded by the relentless and precise fire. The submarine is hit repeatedly, and its hull begins to buckle under the intense pressure. With no other options, the enemy crew realizes that their mission has completely failed today. The submarine descends into the darkness, its systems failing as it sinks to the bottom. The crew sends a final distress signal, admitting defeat and offering their complete final surrender. The headquarters receives the news, confirming the end of the enemy's naval threat for good. Commanders breathe a sigh of relief as the long and difficult battle finally ends. The team celebrates their victory, knowing that their hard work and sacrifice have truly paid. The war is over, and the unit looks forward to returning home to their families.